Hello, English 101 students. Welcome to your last module, Module 7. You made it. All you have to do is get through this module and you are finished English 101. Hallelujah. So on Monday, October 22nd, your module will open completely. However, since we've had kind of a hectic semester, and I know some of you just got power back a few days, or not power, Wi-Fi back a few days ago after the tropical storm, things are just a little out of sorts. I'm going to go ahead and open this module for you as soon as I'm finished recording this video, so you'll have it and you can work ahead as necessary. There's a season for rigidity and there's a season for just going with the flow and getting things done. And we are in the season of going with the flow. So let's go ahead and just get this done when you can, and we will wrap up this semester. On Wednesday, October 24th, I'm sorry, that should be Thursday, October 25th. I'm sorry. Thursday, October 25th, you have your discussion 7 and 8, which is a combined board. Normally I have two separate discussion boards, but again, we're in the season of going with the flow and getting things done. So we have a combined board, which I'll show you in a minute, and it'll hopefully lessen a little bit of your work. So on Thursday, your posts are due for that combined board. Then we also have on Friday, your discussion 7 and 8 responses are due. Then Sunday, everything is due on Sunday by 11:59 p.m. There are no more options to turn late work in after this because I have to have your grades in just a few days. So I really can't extend any deadlines. So please make sure that you have everything turned in by Sunday, October 28th at 11:59 p.m. And that will be your final essay. And then I have one assignment broken up into two parts. So again, it's a season for going with the flow. So rather than two separate assignments, we're just going to use assignment A to then do assignment B. And that way you'll have an opportunity to get those points and I hope and learn, but without getting too stressed out. If you want to look at your grades, I don't have a grade book to show you, but you can go to the left sidebar and click My Grades. I think yours looks a little bit different. I'm not 100% sure what yours looks like, but you can click My Grades in the left sidebar or Next Steps and look over your grades and feedback. If you wish to discuss your performance in the course, then email me no later than Tuesday, October 30th at noon. This is really important. Your grades are due the next day, so if you have questions about anything happening in the course, I need to know by the 30th at noon, so that way I have time to deal with it and figure it out and then submit your grades in time. I'm not allowed to submit your grades late. I would get in big trouble for that. So I have to make sure I have everything squared away by Tuesday the 30th at noon so I can get all of your stuff in on time. We can find a time, I'm over here, we can find a time that works for both of our schedules to talk through any questions or concerns you might have about the course, to go through essay feedback in more detail, etc. It doesn't have to take very long, and we can conference over the phone, via Skype, or in person. You may not be able to get an appointment to talk about your grades or course performance after the deadline expires. So if you have questions, you need to ask them by Tuesday, October 30th at noon. And then I reiterate the same thing here. So please, Tuesday, October 30th at noon. I also ask that you take some time to fill out the IDEA course evaluation. You can access that information here. That will be due on the 30th at 11:59 p.m. This week for your readings, you will need to review all key course documents such as the syllabus and schedule to complete discussion 8. And then you'll need to review any previously assigned readings that you need to in order to complete your final essay, or look through any of your information that you found online for your essay. And of course, as always, looking through to make sure that you have a full grasp on APA. So here's your discussion board for this week. And I have highlighted yellow here that please note this discussion board is worth 100 points. So I had to make some executive decisions at the last minute, and given the circumstances of this semester and the problems that many of my OAP students were having with Wi-Fi after the tropical storm came through, everyone's a little bit behind. So rather than asking you, as I normally would, to write 2 discussion board posts and responses in the last module, I'm combining discussion 7 and 8 into one board worth 100 points. So the good news is that means if you do the work, you get 100 points rather than 50. The bad news is if you don't do the discussion board, you get 0 points instead of 100. So the stakes are a little higher in terms of the points, but the work is a little easier. So, you give and take a little bit. I'll let you read through the discussion post prompt at your own time. And by now, again, you should probably know the guidelines for this. If you have questions, please let me know. If you need to review the course documents and information, you can find that here, or you can always just head back over to Start Here and find all the information there. And then we have a Module 5 assignment. And originally I had 2 separate assignments designed, but to save you a little bit of time, what I'm hoping to do is have you work on the assignment, Part A of the assignment, which will then inform Part B. So my hope is that it creates a little less work for you. So here it says, what's the point of this course if we don't make sense of it in our regular lives? Often what we learn in college, especially in the humanities, is designed to help us live more conscious, aware, and robust lives. As such, if we don't apply what we have learned in class to our regular daily lives, we have missed out on a valuable experience to expand and apply our knowledge and skills. This is a 2-part assignment with separate submissions. Please answer the below questions and click above to submit your answers to Part A. So Part A is just this box here. You'll click in here to answer the questions. And the questions are here. Number 1, consider your professional life. What is the most important idea or concept you learn in this class that you could apply to how you interact with patients or colleagues? Number 2, consider the writing you do professionally. What is the most important idea or concept you learn in this class that you could apply to how you compose written content at work? Number 3, consider your relationships. What is the most important idea or concept that you learn in this class that you could apply to how you interact with friends or family? Number 4, consider the world around you. What is the most important idea or concept you learn in this class that you could use to engage with the world, whether that be media, film, news, social media? This one's pretty broad. Just, I know, our lives are all very different. Some of us are more engaged in social media. Others of us watch the news more. Some of us might be a little more into literature than others, those sorts of things. So I don't have a really specific idea here for you. Just what is the world that you're living in, and how can you use something from this class to engage with that world? Grading and rubric. This is worth 50 points. All questions should be answered in at least 150 words. It is pass-fail, so you do it or you don't. You do all of it or you don't get any points. All answers should be authentic and well thought out, and all answers should be articulate and free of errors. The submission, please type all answers into the content editor. So the answers to all 4 of these questions, you'll click up here, and then you'll click Write Submission, and then you can write in all of your answers here. Pretty easy. Now, moving into Part B. So you'll have to do Part A before you can do Part B. A comes before B. So in Part B, it says, consider your answers to the above. And now, prove it. In a variety of mediums, written, film, pictures, graphs, be creative. Provide examples of how you use the material in this class in the context above this week. So for instance, maybe you read a newspaper article and underscored a few fallacious arguments. Take a picture of that. Or maybe you use what you learned about style to craft a clever tweet. Screenshot it. For images, please make sure you provide a brief caption so I know what's going on. I'll give you a little more information here in a minute. Let's just keep moving through this part of the prompt. When you can, be creative. I understand that you have to maintain patient confidentiality, so you can give me a generalized written summary omitting any personal information if necessary. Please don't feel obligated to share more than you want to share. However, if you have instances where you can take a photo or a screenshot of something, do it. Composition isn't just writing. We can portray our ideas in images too. So please provide evidence for the following. Your professional interactions. So this is sort of written idea or image of your answer to question number 1. Your professional writing. And again, the written answer or image for question number 2. And again, I know these 2 might be a little bit trickier because of your professions. I know you have a lot of confidentiality agreements, so don't share more than you're allowed to. Don't share more than you want to. These might be the best ones for you to give just a little written example of something that happened, omitting any names or personal information. Number 3, consider your relationships. So this is a written answer or an image for question number 3 in Part A. And then the last one, the world around you, same, a written answer or an image of your answers for question number 4. So anytime that you give any images or anything like that, just give me a little caption so I know what it is. I just need a little context to know what's going on. And I'm not looking for this to be complicated. This shouldn't be like ruining your week or anything like that. What I'm hoping is that if you answer these questions here, 1 through 4, then this might come kind of naturally. So just be prepared to like jot down notes or take a picture when necessary. The grading rubric, 50 points, pass, fail. All 4 categories should have an, quote, answer or response, written response or image. All visual responses have a brief caption to explain what you are portraying, and the work is authentic and well thought out. So I hope you have a good time with this. I know we've been doing a ton of writing this semester. I hope this is a way for you to think about what we've learned, not just in writing, but also visually too. I really encourage you to be creative with this. I know not everyone's an artist, not everyone's into taking pictures, those sorts of things, or however, drawing, whatever it is that you want to do for this. So I'm not requiring it, but I do encourage you to get creative. It's the last assignment. It should be a little more fun than the rest, I think. I hope. So to submit this, you can click into Module 5, Assignment Part B. And then these, if you have written submissions, you can type them in here. And then if you have images, you can add them as, attach them as files. And that's all you need to do for that. One other thing I want to note is we talked a little bit in the beginning of this semester that I was going to hide a few Easter eggs in your modules. Those got set aside for a little bit given the circumstances, but if you mention this Easter egg in an email to me, you will receive 3 extra credit points at the end of the semester. So if you're listening to this, thank you for listening to my videos. And last but not least, you have your final essay submission. So none of this should look new to you. You've seen this before. To submit your final essay, you will click in here. I ask of you to please do 2 things to ensure that I receive a copy. And these are all listed right here in your submission guidelines. But 1, please copy and paste your essay into this submission box. That way, in case something happens with your file and I can't get a hold of you, I have a copy of it. And then also please attach the file. I will be using the attached file to grade, but things do happen with attachments. So please, please, please make sure you copy and paste your essay into the text submission. I appreciate it if you make sure that the text submission's kind of nice and neat, but I'm not going to be as strict about that as I am making sure your formatting is good on your attached file. The text submission box is really just a backup in case there's some drama. So once you submit your final essay, you are done. That is it. You have your resource file here, and the next step is just to enjoy. Have a wonderful, I think you get like a 12-hour break between Fall 1 and Fall 2. If you're taking classes for Fall 2, have a wonderful brief break. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're ever in Wilmington, or if you live somewhere else and you're here visiting, or if you are in Wilmington and you're in Morton Hall, stop by, introduce yourself, say hi. I didn't get the pleasure to meet any of you this semester, but hopefully next time. Have a great day. It's been a pleasure. Bye.